when you trade, you got to focus on trading, right? A lot of people come into trading focused on the money. The money is a byproduct of trading. If you work at Wendy's, you're focused on flipping burgers and dipping French fries. If you work at Walmart, you're focused on taking clothes and putting them in the right section. You're not focused on the money. You're focused on your job, and your job as a trader is to trade. So now that you're a trader and you're focused on trading, now you know that you're a money manager and you're managing either your own money or money that came from someone else, but you're the one managing it. And you have to understand that you have to have probability on your side. So we're going to get into trading news and why you should or should not trade the news, right? Because if you don't have the experience, the risk tolerance, and all these things in your favor, then maybe you shouldn't be the person trading news. Maybe you should skip the news and trade the next day where you have more information and more risk tolerance to what's going on. You are trading a volatility that you can handle, right? Because this is a field where you are in full control of everything that happens, because you're the one deciding to put on risk when the opportunity presents itself. But are you taking the best risk? That's the question that we're asking ourselves right now. All right. So my name is Louis, and I'm a stock trading coach, and I like to get people to the other side so that they can become a profitable, consistent trader. So that being said, let's get into the SPY analysis. So we're going to start off on the weekly, like always. If you never saw the videos that I have previously done, here we have this uptrend. This is 2020, 2021, and 2022. We started this downtrend here, right? And we have this purple downtrend line to show you the areas where it kept continuously getting sold off. So that's here, 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 right? Then in 2023, we had the breakout, then the retest. And if you notice in these yellow circles, we're getting higher lows and higher highs, right? So now we're going to zoom in to what's happening this week. So last week, we saw this bullish reversal here, and we thought that this might be a good opportunity to get back into this channel and to reach the next higher high. Now, we didn't get to do that, right? We saw this week sell off, right? We're going to go from the weekly to the daily chart so that we can see more detail on exactly what's going on. So if I zoom out here, you see this uptrending channel. Then we ranged sideways for about a month, right? We came outside of this range one time and then failed. And now this is the second time it's failing. And the bottom of this range is right here at this 405 level, right? So what I want to show you is that if we break below this range right here from 405 to 403, SPY is pretty much going to be bearish again, right? So if we zoom out here, you can see that the next support is somewhere in this area down here at 392. And we've been pretty much going sideways. Even though we're making higher highs and higher lows, we're really going sideways inside of this range on the bigger picture. You can see it depicted right here with 412 being the high level and 376 being the low level. But what you can see here is that this is January right here, and we pretty much been up and down inside of this range since 2022, right? Up and down inside of this range. So now we're at the top of the range, and we're gonna see, are we gonna pull all the way back, right, to this 380 area, 392, 400, 405, right? Right now we're in this range going sideways. Now we have a lower high, and did we break yesterday's low? Yeah, it looks like we did by a little bit. So we have a lower high and a lower low, right? So that means that SPY is slightly bearish and neutral because we're going sideways. So what does that mean for the upcoming week? Well, we have to see how this week is going to finish. If we break today's lows, then we can potentially see the bottom of this range, right, at 405. If we break 405, then we can see this 50-period moving average, see if it's going to hold at this 402 area, right? But if we go into the hour chart, we're going to see even more detail. So as you can see here, when we when we had this bullish movement to the upside, right? I was looking for the break here to go and take it upside. Now we got back into this channel from the daily chart, broke down, retested, came back inside the box in a huge way. Didn't quite reach the bottom of the box, but today we had a bear flag, and then we pretty much finished that move here, almost at the bottom of yesterday's price action. That's where we closed. But what I want to see now is, are we going to break below this box? So tomorrow, it's important that you recognize, wow, look at that 412 area, holding like a champ. That is some good resistance right there. Look at that. What I want to show you here is the box that we're stuck in. We came right to the bottom. Now we're bouncing, right? So we want to see, are we going to break this 412 area? And if we break the bottom of this box, the next bearish move is confirmed. So we can see that the next support is going to be right here, 397. And after that, it's going to be 386. And then possibly this 2022 downtrend line, which is this purple line here, right? So this is what we're looking at in the SPY. Right now, we're more bearish than anything else. Neutral, slightly bearish, because we're still going sideways and we're trading inside of this box. It's amazing to me how well these channels and lines are holding, right? I drew these out. If you go back in older videos, I drew these out. I haven't changed them. I haven't moved them. So tomorrow I want to see if we're going to trade back up, hit this resistance at 412 and sell off again, or if we're actually going to break. In my opinion, Powell looked a little bit calm. It looked like he had things under control. So it looks a little bullish to me, honestly. It seems like as far as what he's doing, everything is under control. Now, he did say that things could spin out of control and it would be out of his hands, right? And we know that that has a lot to do with the banking situations. But he's doing everything in his power to bring down inflation, and hopefully we can get a bounce. You know, hopefully we can start seeing these higher highs in the daily chart. And going back to the video, I really just want you to pay attention to what's going on and pay attention to your risk, pay attention to your management, what you're willing to take on, and don't trade like these crazy gambling people who just want to make quick gains. Like, I mean, if you have the skills for it, that's fine. You know yourself, you know what you're capable of. But if you're not that person, then don't try to be that person. Build your risk tolerance up to that point. Be very diligent, be very disciplined in the things that you do. And that's it, guys. Like, I'm looking at below this line here, 407. I want to see 407 down to 405 in the bottom of this box, right? Then all the way down to the 402 area. So let's see what we got tomorrow. Let's see what we got. We're obviously probably going to open a little higher than what we closed, right? We're already seeing a bounce after hours. So trade nice. So today was FOMC, and a lot of people get into this kind of like a FOMO type of energy, where it's like everybody knows that a big move is potentially coming. So what I want to talk about, and specifically, is fear. I know you guys heard of FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. But that's not the fear that I'm actually talking about. The fear that I'm talking about is when you're about to place a trade and your heart is pumping, right? Now, this fear comes from two things, maybe three. The first thing is you either don't know what you're looking for, and number two is you're trading with too much money, and number three is you're trying to predict what's going to happen, meaning you haven't accepted the risk that comes associated with putting on that trade. So what does that mean? That means that on a day like today, anytime you're trading news, you know that the probability is no longer on your side, meaning you don't know what the news is going to do. So when it comes to news, I stick by two rules. Number one, you either don't trade it at all. And number two, if you are going to trade it, make sure that it's money that you really don't care about, right? So if your risk tolerance, for example, if you go out for dinner and you're going to spend $200 to $300, and you say, you know what, I'm going to skip dinner and I'm going to use the stock market as a casino today, because that's what it is. When you trade news, you're basically gambling. So you can make a lot of gains or you can lose all your money, but you still need to be in a zone where you can make decisions from a logical standpoint. So what does that mean? That means that if you're going to trade news, make sure it's not a lot of money. And number two is you still have to be able to make decisions. So if it's not news that you're fearing, then I suggest that you take your capital and you lower it to an amount that really doesn't bother you. And if you have a strategy in place, that's going to allow you to play your strategy flawlessly. So I think it's super important for you to know your risk tolerance, know how long you're going to be in a trade, know what you're looking for, and know the dollar amount that you're okay with losing, right? So that is what I wanted to start out this video talking about, is the fear of missing out, trading FOMC, which from what I've learned, most professional traders don't trade FOMC. And if they do it as a fun, like playing a scratch off at the liquor store, right? So it's important that you recognize that if you want to be consistently profitable, one day like this can take you out of your trading zone. Let's say that you've been focused, you've been looking, you've been catching, you're profitable, you're taking your stop loss where you need to, you're putting on the right size, you have your trades written out, you know exactly what you're going to do. But one day like this can take you out of that zone and spiral for the next 2-3 weeks of losing and losing and losing. So if that's you, then I strongly suggest that you don't trade news. I strongly suggest that you just wait till the news comes out, and then you have more probability, because the news that came out now is concrete, and now you have more probability in your favor. So it's important that you don't trade the FOMC if you don't have the risk tolerance and if you don't have the mental capacity to do that. And I'm going to tell you from experience, it takes a lot for you to have that discipline to get into FOMC when you're trying to be a consistently profitable trader and have that mind structure like a beast to continue to trade after taking a big loss on a day like that. And I prefer not to trade FOMC. Just like a lot of people take gambling positions on earnings, right? I also, if I'm going to take an earnings play, it has to be with money that I'm willing to lose, because it's a gamble. You can't predict what's going to happen in earnings. You just can't do that. You can follow the company. You can say, oh, they did good. You could even have insider information, and you still cannot predict earnings. So what I want to leave you with in this video, aside from the SPY breakdown, what I want to leave you with is some words of encouragement to build up a history of profitability and a history of discipline before you trade something like FOMC. And I know it's exciting because you're probably in a Discord and you see people up, like 1,000% or 500%. Like, yeah, that's nice. It's much easier when it's money you don't care about, right? Like, you might see someone who's already a successful trader and they're used to making like a few $1,000s a day. And on a day like today, they decided to play $200-300, throw it in the trash, let it go 200-300%. And you go ahead, and that's your account size is $500, and you try to do the same thing, and you blew your account, but they just took a small L that they didn't care about. You see, it's not the same. That's why you can't compare yourself with other traders. Every other trader has a different financial situation. Every other trader has a different risk tolerance. Every other trader has a different experience level. So it's important that you don't compare yourself to anyone, right? And that you don't try to chase the gains that other people have, because they have different priorities and they have more risk tolerance sometimes, and sometimes they have less risk tolerance. So It all depends on you. This is the only job in the world that you don't need employees. You don't need customers. You don't need rules. You don't need anything. It's all on you. And that's why trading stocks is very difficult for a lot of people, because the ball's in your court and people are not used to making those type of decisions. Ultimately, get your head in the game. Know that you are in charge. Know that you're in control. Act like the money is something that you're doing for somebody you respect, whether that's your grandmother, your father, or somebody. Act like the money that you're investing is their money. And that way you can say, no, I can't lose my dad's money like that. I can't lose my grandmother's money like that. I'm going to skip this because I feel like this is a gamble and I don't want to gamble with my grandma's money. So remember, guys, it's about preserving your money, preserving mental capital, and being smart about the decisions that you make when you're trading. If you have the skill set, have fun. You understand? You know what you're doing. You know what you're looking for. You know how much you're going to risk. You know what you're okay with. If you're still in the journey of building discipline, I would say stay away from FOMC. Stay away from earnings news. Wait till the dust settles. Wait till the news comes out and then trade like a champion. All right? Don't be a fool. All right? Be smart. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. That's my SPY analysis. And now we're going to wait till the next video. We're going to see what happens by the end of the week. We want to see how that weekly candle finishes. And until next time, guys, take it easy.